For more historical context now, I want to bring in Hadley Hall Meares. She is a journalist who specializes in art, culture, and history. And again, we spoke to her a little bit earlier. She's written for Vanity Fair and a number of other publications. And Hadley, I just want to ask you first, 2 million people potentially, according to London's Mayor Sadiq Khan. This is probably the most people that have ever gathered for one of these, or it might just be the only time we've actually tried to count them. I'm not sure which.
I know, it's absolutely incredible. And I think it just really shows the enormous reverence and love that the people of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth had for the Queen. And also, I think it's really notable to think about the fact that this is a woman who spent all of her 96 years in the public eye. She was quite a shy person. I think she probably would have preferred to just been a country woman who rode her horses and managed her household. And instead, she had all these millions and now billions of people watching her, even to her final send-off. I mean, what a remarkable, odd life that really very few people can possibly imagine.
And again, we're speaking with Hadley Hall Meares here. She is a royal historian, among other things. Did everything go according to plan? You know, was there anything, did you catch any missteps here? Because it all looks perfect. It all just looks like it all went according to plan. But I don't know if you noticed anything, because you're more of an expert than we are.
Well, knock on wood, no, it seemed to all be absolutely flawless. You know, they did have that horrible incident a couple days ago while she was lying in state in Westminster Hall when a disturbed man ran up and grabbed the coffin. And so I would say that's been the one misstep or unfortunate incident so far. So as the Queen always behaved flawlessly in public, it's quite fitting, I think, that her funeral seems to be going off without a hitch.
Well, there also was an older gentleman who was guarding the coffin who passed out, fell right on his face. And that sort of goes to just sort of how grueling it is to look as official as they do with all this pomp and circumstance. I know there were some thoughts that maybe King Charles was wavering in some of his steps as he followed the Queen's coffin a few days ago in a different procession. So is it grueling, this walk that they have to do? It took about 45 minutes to an hour, and you think they're just walking, but they're in full regalia, and it's a long walk, and these are typically, in the case of King Charles, he's 73 years old. He'll be 74 in November. Is it tougher than it looks, perhaps?
I think it's absolutely tough. I think anyone who's gone for a long hike can tell you that. And you're in full regalia, the women are in heels. And I think that's something we forget. Yes, these are people of enormous privilege and entitlement that most of us can't imagine, but their day-to-day job is quite grueling and quite honestly quite boring. I mean, they spend a lot of time on their feet. They spend a lot of time shaking hands, having to hide private emotions. Being of service is giving of yourself while not really taking care of yourself. So I'm sure, and you've also got to remember, this is a family, as everyone's been saying, who is grieving, who's gone through enormous change in the past 10 days. And, you know, Prince Harry spoke about how traumatic it was to walk behind his mother, Princess Diana's casket. And of course, this is a very different circumstance of a woman who lived a very long and happy life. But it's still your mother, and you're still tired. And like you said, you're still 73 years old. So I hope, I was actually saying this to someone earlier, I hope that they are able in the next few days to go to their respective castles and estates and kick up their feet and watch TV and be able to process what has just happened and have a good stiff drink.
Yeah, I kind of wonder, you know, the typical funeral event, I think, includes people bringing you food, and maybe you have some get-togethers with some families. I imagine the royals do it a bit differently. I don't think they have to have anybody bringing them meals.
No, I think they have folks to do it for them.
What has this experience been like for you as a historian? You've never had a chance, well, very few people have had a chance to watch a royal funeral, and this is something that you study. So what have you thought seeing it in person after having read about it for so long?
Yeah, I just have been really touched by the beauty and the continuity of the tradition of it all. And, you know, I got almost teary when I was watching the coffin being loaded into the hearse on its way to Windsor, because she's being taken to be buried not only with her beloved husband, Prince Philip, but also with her mother, the Queen Mother, her father, George VI, and her very bright and funny and difficult sister, Queen Margaret, whom she was incredibly close to. They were an incredibly tight-knit family. And I think that goes back to the fact that they were really the only people in the world who could understand, besides other heads of state, what it was like to live their life. And they're all now going to be together in the George VI Memorial Chapel. And I just, I found that so touching and moving that finally this woman is with the family she loves so much, who she shared so much with and shared the same sense of humor with. And she's finally at peace after 70 years of service to the crown.
And she lost her sister, Princess Margaret, in 2002. She lost her mother, Queen Elizabeth, or the Queen Consort Elizabeth, also in the same year. My understanding is that after her husband, Prince Philip, died in April of 2021, she was never quite the same. She didn't come out in public as much. It really changed her. And I think that's part of the reason you're saying it's so good to know that she's going to be at rest next to him. They were really a team.
They were. She called him her strength and stay, and he was a tough guy, and he had an interesting personality, but he really cared about her. He really believed it was his duty to walk one step behind and support her. And I think, like many elderly people who have been married for a long time, once their partner is gone, their partner in crime, so to say, they maybe think, okay, maybe it's time for me to pass this on to the next generation. And, but then I just think of that last picture we have of her just 2 days before she passed away, smiling so sweetly to the camera, having just met with the new prime minister. So even though maybe she was ready to go, she still, to the very end, was a working person. I hope I am not working if I luckily make it to 96 years old.
Well, she and Prince Philip were married for 73 years. 73 years. He died at the age of 99, again in April of 2021. And now they're going to be together. You said that her mother and her father, King George VI, they are also buried there in the same chapel. Is that right?
That's correct, as is Princess Margaret. And she learned so much from her father about being a royal woman and about being a queen. He became enormously popular because of his selfless service during the Blitz and during the horrible war, World War II. And her mother, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, was a very interesting, fascinating character who also really instilled in her this sense of fun and just go on, keep calm and carry on. And my favorite royal expression that I use in my real life all the time, never complain, never explain.
Keep calm and carry on. That's right. That is Hadley Hall Meares. She is a royal historian. She's been joining us all morning as we watch this procession take off and head toward Windsor Castle. Adrienne.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.